5 minutes to table your speech, your budget speech. Boper.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Greetings to yourself, greetings to all honorable provincial member of legislature, the Prim of KwaZulu-Natal, the Provincial Executive Council, the head of department with all senior management of the department, stakeholder from the Department of Transport, invested guests, and all media that are present here. Mr. Chair, allow me to rise and table this budget vote 12, which is the budget policy speech for KwaZulu-Natal Department of Transport. We are tabling this budget speech under the theme, Leaving No One Behind, 29 years of solid service delivery and still committed to doing more. This theme, Mr. Chair, takes into consequence the journey we have traveled with the people of KwaZulu-Natal over the past 29 years of freedom and democracy. The reality is that as we're approaching 30 years of freedom, there is no corner of the province that has not touched by the Department of Transport. Mr. Chairperson, it is important that we reaffirm to not leaving anyone behind as we continue rolling out massive infrastructure delivery to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. We commit not to leave anyone behind as we roll out an improved public transport system. We will not leave anyone behind as we create jobs and continue with radical socio-economic transformation. This budget policy statement seeks to forward some of the commitments and intervention announced by the Premier of this province, Premier Dube Ncube, during her State of the Province address. Equally, Mr. Chair, we are giving progress on the implementation of the Provincial Growth and Development Plan, as well as the National Development Plan. Indeed, Mr. Chair, we have a good story to tell, and we are striving to leave no one behind. Our people can attest to the reality and tangible changes they see in their communities. The record of achievement in the past 29 years is solid. Isukela ko baba uNdebele, iye ko baba uBheki ucele, iye ko baba ubaba Willis Mchunu, may his soul rest in peace. Ubaba uBheki uNtuli, umfowethu uKhawunda, no mama uNkonyeni. We are taking from them. Benze umsebenzi omuhle kakhulu begijima eKwaZulu-Natal. Benze isiqiniseko sokuthi abantu bakithi bawuthola umgwaqo. The African National Congress is the only organization with a clear track record of changing the people's life for the better. We must also acknowledge the experience of the past 29 years in government has been very testing, but working with the people of this country and of this province, we've made progress. We are the only liberation movement on the continent that have delivered such a political, a comprehensive social program and economic stabilization program. Mr. Chairperson, the majority of those who criticize this government today are the one who are the one way or other beneficiary of this achievement of the past 29 years. Some of them are grandstanding on the weaknesses which were aware and were addressing. Aliko Isoga Elinganasici, Mr. Chairperson. In the past 29 years has also been a serious learning curve for the ANC government. And we do acknowledge some of the failures where we could have done things differently, but people must not, because of some of the challenges discussed and the good track record and the good work we have done together with the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Hence, we are working flat out to improve on those areas. Mr. Chairperson, one good thing about experience is that we now know the areas where there is service delivery challenges, and we know the best solution and necessary development in those communities in KwaZulu-Natal. I want Mr. Chair to quote the former president of this country, former President Mbeki, who once said, open quote, gloomy and despondent have never defeated adversity. Trying times need courage and resilience. Our strength as a people is not tested during the best of time. As we said before, we should never become despondent because the weather is bad, nor we should turn tribalistic because of the sunshine, close quote. The achievement of the 6th administration, Chairperson, as we account to the people of KwaZulu-Natal of what we have done in this 6th administration, we want to outline the priorities, and these are in line with the PGDP and the NDP as already indicated above. At the Department of Transport, we've made progress in several areas since the 2019-2020 financial year to date. We have upgraded more than 57 kilometers of road from the gravel to blacktop. We have built more than 11 vehicle bridges across the province. And we have 14 this is a bridge that we have completed, and I'm just mentioning a few, Mr. Chairperson, because of time, but we do have a detailed report. More than 3,900,000 square meters of road infrastructure have been repaired, and 14 million square meters have been resealed, and 72 learners provided with transport every day in this province. We completed even the construction of the Umzimkhulu public transport facilities. On the progress on the flood damage project, Mr. Chair, as we are aware that this province is one of the provinces that have been really affected by the floods. The challenges brought about the global weather warming are now the reality. Over the past constant years, the province has experienced unprecedented floods which have undermined the progress we have made in rolling out the massive infrastructure in the province. The torrential rain left devastating damage to our infrastructure and resulted in the most project collapsing before the expected lifespan. From June 2008 floods to the massive April 2020 floods and the recent February 2023 rains, the damage is amounting to $1 billion of rands. This is also delaying the service delivery because we have had to reprioritize, because even on the national government release some funds, there are always delays. Some projects have experienced a wash away damage to structures, sinkholes, and collapse of pipes. And we must indicate, Mr. Chairperson, that we've done our work to try by all means to repair those roads. From April 2022 floods, the department has had prioritized the repairs of 730 projects at a value of 2.9 billion. It is important, Mr. Chairperson and all members, to inform that the department is currently working with the agencies to fast-track the remaining project. Through the South African National Road Agency, SANRAL, we have signed the Memorandum of Understanding, which then include those projects are M4 Tongati Bridge and R102. We have also signed the MOU with Independent Development Trust, which is known as IDT, which is another state-owned institution, to assist through their panel of engineers and constructors. Mr. Chairperson, as part of mitigation factors, the department has started conducting an assessment of low-level bridge across the province. This will assist in prioritizing and planning. We have also taken the decision to do away of causeway, but we rather invest on the proper structures. Chairperson, it is also important to give a progress on the pothole patching program, as we are aware that it was launched by the Minister, Minister Mbalula. We have mentioned before that the impact of the flood is causing excessive potholes, but the situation is further worsened by the fact that some of the infrastructure has already reached its lifespan. Another challenge, which is adding strain to our infrastructure, is the trucks that are using our road instead of using the national road. Then the Premier of this province, in her state of the province address, that he said we must develop a clear plan to attend these challenges. We have already engaged with national government to try and deal with the issues of truck in this province. To this end, we have allocated more than 2.9 billion to prioritize the rehabilitation and reseal of the existing road network. By doing so, Mr. Chairperson, we will revive the road back to life and simultaneously eliminate potholes. We are also planning to rehabilitate more than 1,386,810,000 square meters of urgent road, and projects such as P242 and P19, P395, and many more other projects that we are planning to repair. As part of the national government program, Operation Valazonke has already indicated, that was announced by the minister, by then Minister Mbalula. The province is also working with SANRAL at the regional level. That's why even the regional director, who's the director for the province, coming from national, is part of the guests who are present here. Pothole War Room will comprise of the province, SANRAL, and strategic local municipalities. Province to assist municipalities to develop maintenance and pothole patching plans to ensure that the full expenditure of the road maintenance grant, finalize the appointment of pothole patching contract, and make sure that we place a Department of Transport regional dedicated team to attend potholes every day, and to ensure that the demand purchase a high-tech truck equipped with pothole patching equipment, and these will be deployed in all districts to ensure that we fast-track the issue of repairing our road across the province in all districts. And we have five programs within the department. Then program money deals with administration support. It's important to indicate that, Mr. Chairperson, we have allocated 656 million in this program, which is program 1, skills development. This budget will also spend ensuring that the department is able to meet the strategic objective of building the capacity of the state to deliver the service to the people. In the past 4 years, Mr. Chairperson, departments through the various capacity building initiative trained a total of 3,329 employees. Further than that, to this, more than 237 bursaries were awarded to employees. As part of developing the next layer of engineers and the youth, the total of 87 students were awarded bursaries since 2019. Through the adult education training program, 12 employees completed the program. Nalabadala sihlalo sithi abafunde ngoba imfundo ayikhulelwa. Even abasebenza ngaphakathi sithi asibanikeze i-skills ukuze baphume bebe ne-certificate. Ngayi program le eka-government esibizwa ukuthi adult education training program. In bricklaying appreciated program, 50 young people are being empowered and benefiting from this program. Mr. Chairperson, as part of building internal capacity, eliminating the over-reliance on consulting, the department has, for the first time, 78 registered professional technicians with Engineering Council of South Africa, and 9 professional registered technologists, and 14 professional engineers. We have also achieved a milestone of having 9 appointed chief engineers in the department for the first time, Mr. Chairperson. Something that has never happened before. Among us here, Chairperson, that's why we want to indicate that one of our special guests, with Ms. Ntego, who is acting as the chief engineer, and Mr. Gumet, who is acting as the chief engineer as well. The two were supported by the department as bursary beneficiaries, are now employed by the department. That shows that we are indeed creating job opportunities for our people to ensure that we deal with the issue of employment. Nalaba abangawathola umsebenzi, uhulumeni kaKhongolose ukhona uyawakhanda amathuba omsebenzi. On the graduate internship program, this program aims to address the youth unemployment and build the skilled reserve. It also seeks to bridge the gap between academic theoretical studies and the practical work experience. A total of 712 graduates have been placed in the department since 2019. Further than this, Mr. Chairperson, additional of 348 have been added and have commenced in the 1st of March 2023. In addition to the internship program, Mr. Chair, department has, through the work integrated learning, placed 254 students in the past 4 years on the current administration. Through the program funded by the Transport Education and Training Authority, a total of 88 learnership were completed and awarded with certificate. Finalization of the organogram and filling of post. Mr. Chairperson, Department is continued to filling the approved funded post since the 2019-2020 financial year. About 1,941 posts were approved for filling. More than 736 vacancies have been filled. 1,178 have already been advertised. Abantu abantu bayabona amapost amaningi ephumile. Last one sasifuna ngisho nabantu abano standard 8 ngoba lo hulumeni kaKhongolose awufuni kuphela abantu abafundile. Sinako ukuqonda ukuthi bakhona zange balithola ithuba lokuthi baye esikolweni. Yingakho ke sikhipha namapost ukuthi nabo bakwazi ukuthi bathole ithuba ukuthi baqhashwe kuhulumeni lokhona kaKhongolose. Currently the department has 49.14% of women in its workforce and 50% in the senior management services. Digital transformation strategy, Mr. Chair. The department is currently rolling out the implementation of its digital strategy. The digital strategy focuses on the transforming, not only on transforming the sector, but also internal in the department. The department will launch the contact center where citizens can engage the department via the toll-free number or on WhatsApp, on web service that will allow the citizen to engage with the department, to touch on the bottom and have a view where the reported issues are not dealt with and the ability to escalate those issues. Because siyafisa ukuthi sihlalo la khona esingenzi kahle kwenza amaphutha abantu bakithi baZulu Natal bakwazi ukuthi basifonele mahala, bakwazi ukuthi basiwhatsapp basho ukuthi kunenkinga emgwaqeni endaweni ethize ngoba siyazi ukuthi abantu bakithi bangamehlo bayizinyawo ngoba uhulumeni kaKhongolose uhulumeni wabantu, ngaphandle kwabantu awukho uhulumeni lokhona kaKhongolose. Yingakho ke sifisa ukuthi sisebenze nabantu bakithi. On fighting fraud and corruption, Mr. Chairperson, work is being done in rooting out crime and corruption in driver's license testing centers and monitoring the behavior of traffic officers in their line of duty. In the past years, there are 15 suspected arrested and 150 learners cancelled, 265 driver license cancelled, and 7 professional driving permit cancelled. Operations are being conducted by the department, working with the police to arrest the more jockeys and who are acting on behalf of the applicants in our testing centers. On program 2, Mr. Chairperson, we deal with infrastructure and district services. The department has started working with the development of the infrastructure master plan because it's important that we must understand ukuthi imiphi imigwaqo esinayo, imiphi imigwaqo enenkinga, imiphi imigwaqo ye-province, imiphi imigwaqo ye-district ne-local. Then whatever must plan, sazi ukuthi plan based on the plan esikwaziyo ukuthi is approved by the department. And this plan will assist in prioritizing and provide analytical data and need assessment for construction and maintenance. It will also outline the key areas of intervention for bold provincial infrastructure priorities, identify important corridors, unlock some of the challenges working with the other infrastructure role players. The department is spending about 72% of its budget on this program. In this financial year, the department will spend 9.2 billion. The allocation of 4.4 billion is allocated to the construction of the new project, which is roads and bridges. And then the allocation of 3.9 billion is allocated to the maintenance of existing projects. The rest is for the other support program within the infrastructure. Kusho ukuthi sizohamba nje yonke kwaZulu Natal sifaka imigwaqo emisha itiyela sinishe emakhaya sisuke from kwi-gravel siye etiyeleni ngoba nasemakhaya bayadeserve ukuthi babe netiyela. Asisho itiyela libe khona emadolobheni kuphela. Mr. Chairperson, in the next 3 years, we are going to invest more than 23 billion in the construction and maintenance of infrastructure projects. This will definitely change the infrastructure landscape of the province, empower emerging contractors, create more job opportunities for our people in KwaZulu-Natal. The infrastructure project completed in the past 4 years. We are just going to mention few projects, Mr. Chair, that have been completed in the past 4 years. Allow me to report some of the achievements on the 6th administration. There are some of these projects that were completed during this period, and the list is not exhaustive as already indicated, but I must indicate some of those projects, which is P362 and P415 and P318 and P 197.1 and the main P11 and number of district road like 1886. I just mentioned a few, Mr. Chairman, because of time. If I had time, I was going to mention yonke imigwaqo eyenziwe uhulumeni for the past 19 years or 20 years. Kungaze kuphela usuku sisho nje izinto ezinhle ezenziwa uhulumeni kaKhongolose ikhanda umgwaqo. The other completed project include D1252 under Inkosilanga Libalele, which costed 48 million, and Moy River Bridge, and which costed 32 million, and other projects, Mr. Chairperson, including Msinga, Nasengutu, Nasejozini, ayikho indawo Chairperson esingafiki kuyona. Futhi asibheke ukuthi ubani ophethe kulo mkhandlu loyo, ngoba abantu bangabantu bahulumeni kaKhongolose. Nakulo masipala uhulumeni akho songaphethe khona, sithi nabayideserve intuthuko, ngoba intuthuko ingabantu. Futhi asifuni bakhiphe, sifuna babone ukuthi uhulumeni kaKhongolose usebenza kangakanani ukwazi ukuthi usize abantu bethu bakaZulu Natal. Priority project for the current 2023-2024 financial year, Mr. Chairperson. These are some of the strategic projects to be constructed in the financial year. These are the not only projects that are going to be constructed this financial year, but we're just mentioning the few among many projects that we are going to to construct in this financial year. P443 located at Mampanini to Ingwavuma. Under Ichozini, no P90 lapha enkandla obhizi nakhona King Cetshwayo, uP16 lapha osuka eKranskop uye eQhudeni. uP16 uzokwazi ukulinka abantu base eKranskop bakwazi basheshe bafike enkandla basheshe bafike nasenquthu. Okuyi project eyaqalwa siqhubeka nayo ngoba iyaqalwa uyena uhulumeni lo khona kaKhongolose. Kube D77, kube uP91, kube uP191 olapha eAlfred Duma. Miningi kakhulu Mr. Chairperson, angeke ngikwazi ukuthi ngiqede, kodwa kuyakhombisa ukuthi sinenza imigwaqo endaweni ezihlukahlukene ngaphansi kwaZulu Natal. But we want to indicate ukuthi ikhona, Mr. Chairperson, some of the following projects that will prioritize to rehabilitation and resealing. This will improve the condition of the road and the response of the pothole patching strategy, as we already alluded above. Oku reseal ka P601 osemzimkhulu kube reseal uP17 osemsinga kube uP17 part of wayo bese kuba uP5772 la ePinetown kandengezi sasikhulu kaDabeka msori sasikhulume ngawuthi sizothula nje in the months to come no P19 lo ofaka ohlanganisa iMoy River neLanga Libalele, and other projects amanye that we have not mentioned. Siyafisa ukusho somlomo ukuthi siyeza kuyo yonke imiphakathi and will leave no one behind. Kulezi zinyanga ezizayo sihambela imiphakathi yahlukahlukene sizothula izinhlelo imisebenzi okuqala okwakhiwa kwama-bridge endaweni ehlukahlukene. Lapha eBuffalo ehlanganisa inquthu nomsinga, ibridge elibalekile kufanele silakhe khona abantu basenquthu nasemsinga bazokwazi ukuthi bangasadry uma bezefuna ukuvakashelana. Elizodla imali engango-126 million, iqabane bridge emzimkhulu nalezodla u-34 million, neminye-ke ama-bridge nemigwaqo esingeke siyibale yonke la ngenxa yesikhathi. But there are projects that are undertaken in partnership with SANRAL, as I already indicated that we have signed an MOU with SANRAL. Some of those projects that we have agreed that SANRAL will do, I've already indicated to go to M4. But SANRAL will be investing well over 80 billion in the strategic project over the next 8 years in this province. And this morning, it's important that indicated that there is a team from the department that they have inspected the N3. Njengakusubona N3 kuba khona i-traffic ngoba uyalungiswa. Njengoba kune-traffic kusho kona ukuthi umsebenzi uba khona uyasetshenzwa. And uMinister next week uyeza futhi uzolontsha enye umgwaqo ozowakhiwa khona la ku-N3 naku-N2 okhomisa kona ukuthi uhulumeni waKwaZulu Natal uyakwazi ukuxhumana nohulumeni kaNational. Yingakho abantu baKwaZulu Natal fanele bangalenzi iphutha ngo2024 ukuthi bangakwazi ukuthi bavotele abantu abangazazi ukuthi benzani, ngoba thina sesine experience, sesine track record, sesiyazi ukuthi abantu bakithi bafunani and sobasiza kanjani. We have a program, Mr. Chairperson, esibiza ukuthi iWelisizwe Bailer Bridge program, and this program, Mr. Chairperson, was announced by the president of this country, President Cyril Ramaphosa, in his SONA, and also the premier of the province. He also announced with SOPA in this financial year. We have started contracting 22 of these bridges in rural areas where there is no access at all. La khona abantu bengakwazi ukuthi bawele baye kwamanye ama-areas. Then this government of the ANC uyikhandile leyo ma-bridge lawo futhi sazoqhubeka ukuthi siwakhane. And all these bridges, Mr. Chairperson, we have already transferred as a provincial Department of Transport 410 million for this project. Last month, Mr. Chairperson, we went to Vugupansi village, Mvoti, lapho Ward 6. Lapho khona kade siyobona siwenza usiyahlola, safike salibona ama-bridge amabili asephelile. Lama bridge lawa akhandwa uhulumeni lewe province usebenzisana nohulumeni national public works oholwa ubaba uZikalala esimaziwe kade undunankulu la kwaZulu Natal. Siphinde sisebenze namasotsha, sikhombisa yona bese siqhasha abantu abaningi basendaweni ukuze bakwazi ukuthi babenefite, bakwazi ukuthi bathola amathuba omsebenzi. Mr. Chairperson, we have a program esibiza ukuthi Operation Siyazenzela. In this program, Mr. Chairperson, the department will continue to invest in its capacity to maintain the road and construct the rural areas. Operation Siyazenzela is a program that seeks to integrate internal resources for the maximum impact. As part of improving this program, the department will continue to increase its equipment and is planning to spend more than 760 million to purchase new equipment. The work of the filling of 337 vacancies for great operators is underway and will continue to ensure that we have enough operators. Sifuna ukuba nemishini eminingi, igugule eningi, amathraga amaningi. Khona ngeke kube khona inkinga uma kunenkinga kwi-district ethize kumasipala othize. Sikwazi ukutshela abakuloyo omasipala ukuthi abahambe bolungisa umgwaqo ngoba asifisi kube khona abantu abangeke bakwazi ukuthi bahambe endaweni yakithi eKwaZulu Natal. There's a new Jersey barriers, Mr. Chairperson, which is one of the issues that have been raised, especially under Umkhanyakude. The issue of a cross-border crime remains a serious challenge facing the people of Umkhanyakude district. The Provincial Executive Council, led by Honorable Primum, has instructed that this project must continue and keep a cross-border crime between South Africa and Mozambique. You know, Chairperson, we are one of those who have been affected. Sifisa ukuthi sixolise kakhulu ngenxa yecrime eyenzeke laphana between eMangozi naseMozambique, but we want to commit in this August House that we are planning ukuthi le project ukuthi kwakhiwe indonga laphana kona imoto zabantu bakithi zingakwazi ukuthi ziwele ziye ngaphambili. And we have projected that this project will take at least 271 million. And the provincial government, working with the national government, is trying to ensure that we source this budget. Under Program 3, Mr. Chairperson, this program, Mr. Chairperson, we are allocating 1.8 billion. And part of the program that under this Program 3 is subsidized of bus operations. Government remain committed in providing an affordable and reliable and effective public transport system. Abantu bakithi uma begibela amabhasi fanele bazi ukuthi lo hulumeni kaKhongolose uyabanikeza imali ukuthi angaduri ukugibela amabhasi. Ngaphandle kwawo uKhongolose, uhulumeni kaKhongolose, ngaba kukho konke lokho abantu bakithi ngabe bayasafarisha. According to the 2023-2024 plans, the department remained committed to cover 1,196 trips on the 2070 roads. The budget used is estimated at 1.3 billion per annum. honorable members, regarding the provision of the subsidized services to the two remaining districts, which is Harry Kuala and Umzinyati, a lot of progress has been made. The estimate cost for this project is 30 million. The department is busy finalizing this program, and sooner we are going to render services to those two districts. Transformation in the subsidized public transport, honorable members. The department is moving ahead with the transforming agenda in subsidized public transport. There's a general consensus from all role players that we should all work together in this regard. Recently, as part of our stakeholders engagement, we had an engagement with the South African bus operators, which is dominated by the main operators, and they've also expressed the support for the urgent need for transformation. We are trying all that we can to resolve the court challenges and have this contract advertised to allow previous disadvantaged operators to participate. Siyafisa ukuthi abantu abakithi kakhulukazi abamnyama nabo babe yibona abangena kakhulu kulento yamabhasi, kungakuthi i-public transport kakhulukazi amabhasi mainstreaming kungabe eyabantu abamhlophe kuphela or abantu laba abakama ngezandla, kodwa abantu bakithi nabadeserve ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi bayithole i-opportunity ukuthi si-transforme le sector, kungene nabantu bakithi, kungene nabantu besifazane, kungene i-youth, kungene nabantu abadala, ngoba everyone deserve ukuthi athole i-opportunity, especially laba aba-privacy disadvantage. Over the past 4 years, Mr. Chairperson, in the 12th negotiated transformation contract, the department has invested well over 1.3 billion to African operators. This is an important step towards the redistribution of the economy. Again, Mr. Chair, it is in this financial year we will be spending 404 million in this program in this financial year. The learner transport services in this financial year, Mr. Chairperson, 7,933 learners will be provided with transport. This will benefit 402 schools in the province. Ingane zakithi is the only government where ANC owaqala uku-introduce ukuthi ingane azithole i-public transport. Babekhona ohulumeni, kodwa ingane zakithi zazingakwazi ukuthi ziyithole lonto leyo. Then the Department of Transport, working with the Department of Education, we're going to identify more other schools ezokwazi ukuthi to benefit kule program. Then we're going to allocate 459 million to deal nalolu hlelo. Njengoba sengishilo ukuthi kunesinye isikolo esilapha ekuthiwa i-Middle City Combine eseBergville, ingane yakhona eyashawa yizulu. Uhulumeni lo ngakhona siwabona ukuthi kubalekile ukuthi lesikolo noma siseplazini, kodwa kube khona indlela yokuthi isikolo sithole iskolar transport. And sikhuluma nje namhlanje ingane lezo efunda esikolo lezo zihamba ngayo i-public transport le project ohulumeni lo kaKhongolose. In addition, Mr. Chair, the department will continue to provide non-motorized transport, part of our contribution to a better education as shared responsibility. The department will provide 5,000 new bicycles as part of Shova Ngokulula program. La khona ingane ezinye ezikwazi ukushova amabhayisikili, sizinikeza amabhayisikili mahala ukuthi bahambe ngazo ngohulumeni kaKhongolose okuwona ukuthi banikeze. Bahluleka abanye ukuthi baneze ibhayisikili, ngangazi ukuthi ngangiliphiwe nje mahala, kuthiwa ngihambe ngalo ngiye esikolweni. Then, Mr. Chairperson, it is important that to indicate in public transport stability, as part of building a stability in this industry, we have issued 45,812 operating licenses in the past 5 years, including beginning of 2023, which include a total of 1,172 being issued to scholar transport operators to acquire legal operating license. The department is going to work with the Department of Education in assisting legal operators to improve compliance. Mr. Chairperson, in addition, the 6th provincial regulatory entity offices in the province have now opened and the new pre-office in the office, and this will improve the compliance in the taxi industry and eliminate illegal operators. Ngoba bekuthiwa etimabili kuphela ama-office ade khona akuthi okudile nento yama-license. Manje asevulwe endaweni eningi la sekulula khona ukuthi bakwazi abantu abafuna uku-apply ama-license ukuthi bawathole khona. Last year, we also launched a provincial public transport day in Ulundi, which is a resounding success. This campaign is aimed at making the use of public transport fashionable. We will continue to sustain this campaign because kubalulekile ukuthi thina singabaholi siba encourage abantu bakithi ukuthi kubalulekile ukusebenzisa public transport i-safe, kodwa sisho ukuthi laba driver abangaphathi kahle ama-passengers or abantu bakithi sibakwazi sibakhuze, kodwa sifisa ukuthi sizokusebenzisana kakhulu no-Santaco. There is a program yokutraina o-driver bakithi abadriver ama-taxi ukuthi baphathe kahle abantu bakithi babehave uma bephethe abantu bakithi. Under Program 4, Chairperson, we allocated 1.1 billion. The road safety campaign in KwaZulu-Natal is one of the tourist destination area continues to attract volume of transport during the busy period and holiday. This places the spotlight the issue of safety on the road. The alarming level of crash and fatalities remain the cause for concern. The department is, however, encouraged by the decrease recorded during the festive season holiday, where fatalities dropped by 12.7. Okusho kona ukuthi umsebenzi owenziwa ama-law enforcement agencies ehlangene kakhulukazi ngoDisemba enza umsebenzi oncomekayo efanele ngabe sokushaya izandla ukuthi bazile ukuthi wehlise ukushona kwabantu bakithi. Ukuthi mningi umsebenzi omuhle owenziwa amaphoyisa is either SAPS officers or traffic officers, even no home affairs ngoba kuma operation we have integrated forces akwazi ukuthi sidile nobugebengu KwaZulu-Natal. Mr. Chairperson, we are also proud to report that 18 employees from our road safety directorate recently graduated from the course offered by the Road Traffic Management Corporation on road safety. This will sharpen their skills and understanding on the changing trend in ensuring the road safety education and awareness and other intervention. We are also exploring the use of technology and other innovation. To this end, the department is piloting the use of safety roller bearer under our technology transfer unit to cap the fatal accident. Lolu uhlelo lokufaka izivimbelo ezishayisa engathi ziyizigubhu ezikhona endaweni ehlukahlukene esifakile lapha ku R66 eShowe naku P544 eLadysmith naku R56 eRichmond nala ku M3 eThekwini naku R617 eUnderberg ezibonakala ziwo round iziyelo ezisize kakhulu ukuthi uma imoto ishayisa khona inciphise ukuthi imoto akithi zilimala abantu bakithi bashona. The traffic enforcement, Chairperson, we are moving with speed in stabilizing the road traffic inspectorate with a report commission on the challenge now completed and submitted to the department. We are studying it. We develop a clear implementation plan based on the recommendation made by the report. We want to revive our enforcement agencies and reclaim this province as a zero-tolerance province. We are currently in the process in filling all RTI and public transport enforcement services, which is known as operational Chanela, vacant posts as part of the improving capacity. In Chanela, we have recently filled 26 principal provincial inspectors posts. We currently have 123 posts that are being filled. We are now in the different recruitment stages. In RTI, we have 220 posts that have been advertised. They are being filled, including 100 trainees. Eswakhiphile la sifuna khona abantu abasha abanostandard 10 abane-license ukuthi ba-aplaye ngenhloso yoku-increase inumber ye-visibility yamaphoyisa omgwaqo ukuze sinciphise izingozi emgaqweni. We also requested the approval of additional 100 trainees posts to recruit more traffic officers because we understand that there are many young people who are unemployed in KwaZulu-Natal. As part of contributing in terms of employing recruitment or job creation, we want to recruit more traffic officers, and we will also tapping into a pool produced by the Road Traffic Management Corporation to feed all provinces with the recent cohort of graduates in NQF6. The issue of staff morale is being attended to, including the improvement of working conditions in stations such as KwaNongoma and Greater. The uniform and the tools of trade are being delivered in various stations. Moving forward, we wish to commit that the supply of uniform and other tools will not be disrupted. On the motor license services, Chairperson, the estimated revenue to be collected in this financial year is 2 billion. In order to bring service closer to the people, the government has opened 75 registering authorities in this financial year. We will opening in additional Umsinga, Ejozini, Engutu, Umsunduzi local municipality. Already have opened it Mtubatuba and Nkandle, irrespective of who run those municipalities. But we are assisting our people. Kona benge ba travel indawo ende boyofuna i-license or boyo-renew ama-license. Njengohulumeni kaKhongolose sibhekelela wonke abantu bakithi ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi basizakale. Program 5, Mr. Chairperson. This program, we are allocating 46 million on job creation, Mr. Chairperson. Under this program, Mr. Chair, we want to seek to create jobs and empowerment of youth, women, people with disability, and military veterans. Under the Bambele maintenance program, the demand will create more than 41 job opportunities, and the annual job creation target for Ipitalupi is 5,254 job opportunities. The annual job creation is 4,669,160 employment days, which equate to 20,302 full-time equivalent. The demand retain and paid 45,878 participants to date. We want to indicate, Mr. Chairperson, that we are reviewing Uzibambele, who are still engaging with Treasurer because we want to increase the stipends that they are receiving. We are not going to announce now because we are still engaging with them. We want to recruit more abantu bakithi abadala angekho umuntu osebenzayo ikakhulukazi emakhaya ukuze sizokwazi ukuthi sikhiphe ikati elilele eziko. Ngalo uhulumeni kaKhongolose sokwenza noma yini ukuthi abantu bakithi bathole amathuba omsebenzi ukuze bakwazi ukuthi baqede indlala. Sine program, Chairperson, esibiza ukuthi uvuka ibambe routine road maintenance, where we have 5,600 young people on National Youth Service 6, 1,750 opportunities, road safety ambassadors, program 34 young people, contractor development model, RTI Salmon Server program, 120 participants, SCM graduate program, 79 employment opportunities, washing of government vehicle, 148 opportunities, Welisizwe, Baylor Bridge program. Sinabantu ngishaba sibaqashela ukuthi bageze imoto zohulumeni ngoba sifuni ukuthi abasebenzi bahulumeni esikoleni ngabasebenzi babhizi bageze imoto. Sifuna abafocus ukuthi basebenze bazokwazi bahambisa intuthuko kubantu bakithi. On conclusion, Mr. Chairperson, we want to present this budget speech. We are trying to capture the work we have delivered in the past 6 administrations, but importantly, we recommit working for the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Even though Mr. Chairperson singazange sisithole isikhathi sokusho yonke izinto esizenzayo ngenxa yesikhathi esincane, kodwa abantu bakithi bangofakazi ukuthi kusukela ko-MEC babekhona babeke uKhongolose siyagijima sihambisa intuthuko kubantu bakithi. Nalapho esingakafiki khona siqinisekisa nokuthi sizofika bonke abantu ukuthi siyabona bayazizwa izigi sokuthi siseduzane nabo, sinyathela ngesivinini. Yingakho sifuna isifundazwe sonke sakithi sinuke itiyela, sisuke from kwi-gravel sifake itiyela ukuthi la khona kwesinye isikhathi sifake khona silungise senze i-regraveling and betterment sifake ngisho usimende kwezinye zendawo ngenxa yokuthi imithetho yokwakha ihlukahlukene ama-program yokwakha ahlukahlukene. Then allow me, Mr. Chairperson, to pass my gratitude to the Honorable Premier, Honorable Dube Ncube, for the opportunity or the task that have given to me and the members of Provincial Executive Council for the support they have given to me, and the African National Congress, Inqole Masonto, the Liberation Movement, the only organization in Tlangano Yabantu ekwaziyo ukuthi inikeze opportunity to serve the people of the people. Ngiyafisa ukusho ukuthi ngizokwenza yonke indlela ngikwazi ukuthi ngimele imithetho esinikezwe yona uhulumeni inhlangano ka-ANC. I also want to pass my regard to the Transport Portfolio Committee led by the Honorable Ubaba Umfundisi Dube for the support and the guidance that they've given to me. Ngoba ngiya understand ukuthi there is no MEC ongenza ama-miracles without the support from the legislature portfolio committees. Mphephetho siyabonga the-support enisinikeza yona. Siyafisa ukuthi sibonge the HOD of the department, Mr. Mpele, and the management as a whole. Now bonke abasebenzi be-department who have tried their level best ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi basebenze nathi. Fisa ukubonga ifamily yami, ngibonge uma wami, ngibonge unkosikazi wami, ngibonge ingane ezikwazi ngivumele. Ngicela ukuthatha nje iminute esikhathini sami.
No problem.
Angeke ngikwazi ungayibonga ifamily. Hayi ngeke ngikwazi ungayibonga ifamily. Ngiyafisa ukuthi ngibonge my family, ngibonge unkosikazi, ngibonga ama-comrades wonke abanye sebeyifamily, extended family, and wonke ama-structures e-MDM ngendlela abasikhulise ngayo, that we must always respect people. Even if you differ with the people, you must differ with people with respect and understand ukuthi ekugcineni is important to work nalabo bantu labo. Konke lokho angizange sikwazi sisenzele, kodwa sikwenze ngokuthi sifundiswe inhlangano ye-ANC Inqole Masonto. We then, Mr. Chairperson, we want to ensure that we will not leave anyone behind as we bring service to our people. And allow me to table this budget of 12.9 billion for the consideration and approval by the provincial legislature. Thank you very much. Siyabonga.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC Hlomoga. I wouldn't divide your family. That's why I want to give you the opportunity to thank the wife and the whole family, including your mom and children. Thank you very much, Bopela. Colleagues who are continuing with the items of our agenda. Our program indicates that we have got the report that we must receive from the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee of Transport in KwaZulu-Natal, Honorable Bishop E.V. Dube. You are allocated, Mtwenkosi, 10 minutes.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members of the House, executive members, Babo Hlomoga, MEC, the guests that are present here, Amakosi, Nabefundis. We are here to submit this report. The department submitted the 23-24 financial budget and APP in March 23. This gave the committee support team sufficient time to analyze documents for the Portfolio Committee. In line with the mandate to facilitate public participation, the Portfolio Committee of Transport held a stakeholders engagement in January 20th, 2023 in King Cetshwayo District, Escalent Township. During this engagement, the department presented its 23-24 draft budget and APP. The department's budget hearing with the Finance Portfolio Committee was held in March 23 and was followed by the Portfolio Committee budget meeting on the 30th of March 2023. The department tabled a total budget of 12.9 million billion, as the MEC has said. Ningangisukele. This was allocated across across 5 programs. Well, they are mentioned here: administration, transport infrastructure, transport operation, transport regulation, and for the community-based program. The committee noted with appreciation that 72.5% of the budget is allocated to transport infrastructure, of which 4.4 billion and 3.9 billion is for construction service delivery programs and maintenance service respectively. The committee noted with concern the carry-through equitable share and conditional grant budget cut of 1.1 billion implemented against the department's budget. The committee was, however, pleased to learn that conditional grants receive additional funding allocated across all grants over the MTF period, particularly the 185 million relating to April 22 flood disaster repairs and 575 million from National Treasury to address the backlog in refurbishment of provincial roads and building of rural bridges. Honorable Chairperson, when the committee scrutinized the budget, it was satisfied that it is in line with NDP, medium-term strategic framework, and national and provincial priorities. The budget could be linked to national and provincial priorities, and it is directed in pursuit of overarching priorities such as economic growth and job creation, spatial integration, human settlement, local government and social cohesion, and safe communities. The concerns that were raised by the committee: in the previous years, the department has had challenges with spending its allocated budget and will only spend in the last quarter of the financial year. This has been resulting in the fiscal dumping and under expenditure by the department. Members express concern on the ongoing road infrastructure challenges, poor workmanship by contractors, non-performance by contractors resulting in termination of some other contracts, delay in finalization of department's organization structures. Concern was also expressed by the committee about 250 million which was surrendered by the department in 2023 budget allocation. Delay to complete the restructure of the bridge on the M4 which was damaged in 2022, irregular expenditure. The committee, however, noted that in 2023 budget appears to be balanced. Therefore, if the department continues to apply adequate and proper measurements to spend this budget with efficacy, it should be able to conduct its business optimally while achieving all its output and outcomes. The recommendations and the resolutions were as follows. When conducting its robust oversight, the committee will ensure that the department submit the following documents for further deliberation: a report specifying areas where the roads will be re-gravelled, a report with timelines on the finalization of the organizational structure, which is aligned to the DDM, the turnaround strategy to improve on the audit outcome. Noting that the department was conducting an internal audit, the committee recommended that a report in this regard be submitted. A comprehensive report on the 22-23 fourth quarter expenditure. Provincial Treasury shall be invited to the committee and appraise the meeting about 250 million, which was said to have been surrendered by the Department of Transport. Department must ensure that the roads and bridges which are damaged by floods are refurbished, including the M4. Noting that the department EPW grant for 22-23 has increased, and the department is encouraged to continue spending the budget on the EPWP incentives grant and ensure timers and compliance reporting on this grant. The department to submit the asset management register to the next meeting of the portfolio, and a quarterly report on potholes will be submitted. Then, as we came together, we agreed in adopting the budget 23-24, the budget annual performance and the APP, having considered the department's 2022-23 budget and APP and informed by the considerable deliberations, the portfolio committee political parties voted for the budget as follows. African National Congress, ANC, fully supported the budget. Inkatha Freedom Party, IFP, supported the budget and the APP. Economic Freedom Fighters supported the budget and the APP. Minority parties supported the budget and APP. But Democratic Party reserve their right. Honorable Chairperson, we wish to assure this House that the Portfolio Committee will support the department to maximize the implementation of service delivery and ensure that the road safety issue receive the proper attention. We would like to thank MEC Bopela, Honorable Hlomuga, for his leadership. The committee also extends its words of gratitude to the entire management team led by Ibelel Kulu, the head of department, Mr. Mpele. Many thanks also go to Portfolio Committee members for positive contributions on transport issues. Lastly, my appreciation go to the committee support team for their valuable input and dedication to committee activities. Nami ngibonga umama wasekhaya. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. We are continuing with our program. The next speaker is coming from the African National Congress, and this honorable member is allocated 12 minutes to debate, and this is Honorable M.A. Chiliza.
Siyabonga Mkhwenyana. Sibonge ithuba. Ngiphathwa kamdluli lensizwa masefika mina iyawehlisa ilokoze le. Angathi chaza ukuthini. Sihlalo ngithemba ukuthi ke namhlanje kuzoba khona ukukhuluma okuningi njengayizolo. Ukuthi yabona izolo bekunempikiswano uthi ukhongolose masuzigqaja ngale misebenzi yawo emihle bese kuvela abanye bathi hayi kwaqalwa yithina lokho. Kwakudalwa ke ilento ukuthi mhlambe eminye iminyango uthola ukuthi kuyaqala kwabanye yasifika la kakhongolose isukuma ke. Manje lo mnyango kade bala ke umphathiswa la uHlomuka ukuthi ewuqala nje emumva kuManzankosi weza nawo kwasala ukusisho ukuthi athi Manzankosi sitho wethu athi bheka icele sitho wethu njalo njalo kuzofika kumacingwana kuzofika kukhawunda njalo njalo kuzofika kuHlomuka. Akukho ukuphikisana ukuthi lento ezinhle zonke bezibalwa umphathiswa la hayi ezakhongolose nje angingatshazwa lokho. Amukho ongaphikisa lapho. Uyalimpela lo bekhala izolo. Sihlalo Ndonankulu, members, ladies and gentlemen, kuhloniphe okukhulu kumina ukuthi ngime la kulendlu ngikhuluma egameni lika Khongolose inqole emasondosondo. Umnyango lona siyazi ukuthi sonke iwona ominye eminyango ethola umthamo ngathi uthe xaxa esabelweni sezimali salonyaka sesishamthetho. Ngaleyo ndlela ke kuningi sikulindele ukuthi umnyango ukwenze nakulonyaka zimali njengoba wenzile kulo odlulile unyaka. Sithembele kuyo ke le department hayi kuphela nje ngokuthi enye department esifukulela umnotho wethu kodwa nangokuthi nje yilapho wona mnyango ngenxa yokuhamba ngeenqole emgaqweni osithatha usiphephise kusuka la kuya lapha ya. Masihamba sidinga into zokuthutha ezingaphansi kwawo lo mnyango. Siyazi ukuthi kule minyaka emibili edlulile kuye kwanesimo esithanda ukuthi sibe inselelo enkulu kulesifundazwe sethu ngaphansi kwalo mnyango lapho bekuneyingqinamba ezinkulu ezisukela kakhulukazi ekingeni yokushintshashintsha kwesimo sezulu. Climate change is becoming an urgent focal area. We have experienced the devastation it has caused in KwaZulu-Natal, such as drought and floods, and the chaos that these disasters leave in their wake. As a coastal province, last year's major floods saw nearly 500 people lose their lives, destroying 4,000 houses and displaced about 40,000 residents. According to the Institution for Security Studies, flooding starting when a cut-off low pressure system delivered extremely high rainfall levels of 450 millimeters in some areas in just 48 hours. The frequency of these floods since 2008 has significantly hindered the progress of the Department of Transport to implement large-scale infrastructural projects. This, by all indications, point to the stark realities we will have to face frequently. That is why the African National Congress feel that it is imperative that we start preparing for harsher weather conditions in our province so that the lives of our people may be saved and their homes remain intact. We therefore call upon the provincial and local governments to begin including measures to combat climate change in their respective budgets, which will also protect the gains already made by the government. Chairperson, they say forewarned is forearmed. We have just come back from the Easter holidays. We appreciated the commitment shown by the members of law enforcement, health services, SANRAL, and various other stakeholders. However, we still see a rise in the number of road accidents and fatalities. It is still concerning, despite the various strategies that have been employed that seek to ensure the safety of motorists, passengers, and pedestrians alike. We as ANC call upon government and agencies responsible for road safety to improve their approach by implementing better road safety campaigns and measures throughout the year, and not only during the Easter period. We also urge our people to be cautious on the road and considerate of others at all given times. Slalo, allow me on behalf of the ANC to send our heartfelt condolences to victims of the many road accidents we have seen this month, particularly the fatal multi-car pile-up on entry near Hilton. Also, sifisa ukukhalisana kakhulu nomndeni wa dadewethu uNoxolo Khumalo obeneminyaka nje kuphela engama-26 obe uthisha, whose vehicle plunged off a bridge damaged by 2022 floods. This unfortunate accident robbed the Khumalo family, a daughter, a mother, to a 6-year-old child. We as the African National Congress call on the government to give this matter the serious and undivided attention it deserves. Madam Speaker, on the issue of flood damage projects, the department has experienced huge challenges due to the great extent of the damaged infrastructure. The majority of the damaged sections of the provincial road network experienced the following: gravel washaways, structural damage, sinkholes, mudslides, AMCO pipe collapses, overtopping, excess potholes. These projects are estimated to be about 730, as MEC has mentioned. He also mentioned the amount. Sithi nje sonke asisebenzeni ukubuyisa isithunzi salabantu abahlangabezana nembibizane kulesikhathi. We also appreciate the strengthening of relationships between the Department Central, the Independent Developmental Trust, and eThekwini Municipality. I'm of the view that the more capable hands we have in dealing with this serious matter, the quicker things will get done. Personally, Honorable Slalo, I would like to applaud the Department of Transport for initiating Operations Azenzela, a program where internal teams have been dispatched to remove debris and clear lanes and other lot of problems which came with floods. Siyabonga kakhulu emnyangweni waka DOT. Slalo, ANC ke would like to state that it wants to see the department make use of its conditional grants. These grants include public transport operation grant, public roads, PWP, etc. We would like to warn the department to spend these funds wisely and to the maximum of their intended purposes. You can rest assured that the portfolio committees of the KZN legislature will be closely monitoring this expenditure. However, Slalo, I'm sure that you will agree with me that when I say this applies to all departments, not only umnyango wezokuthutha. Honorable Speaker, Noma Slalo, now more than ever in our province, we need efficiency, we need accountability, we need transparency, and we need capable talent. We as the ANC believe that we are on the right track to achieving this, and we will be there to exercise our constitutional duty over the departments with the aim of fulfilling our promise to our people, which we will see through. Sithi-ke masisebenzeni siyawahalalisela kakhulu umnyango ekwenzeni kwawo, siyakalalisela kakhulu mphathiswa Hlomuka ngokuthi ukwazi ukuthi egameni le-ANC ulethe ukuhlonipheka kwabantu bakithi okwangekho esikhathini esingaphambilini before 94. Inhlanhla wabanawo lo mnyango ile kade ngiyichaza ukuthi waba nenhlanhla nje ukuthi kuqala ngo-94 ubuwele ezandleni zakhongolose. Manje ingaka ubona ukuthi intuthuko ihambe kakhulu kuwona lo mnyango ukudlula le eminye iminyango yaqala kwezinye izandla. Ngiyabonga Sihlalo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Can we continue with our speakers list? We are now inviting a speaker from the IFP, allocated 10 minutes. This is Honorable S. Mutli. Babu Mfundisi.
Honorable Chairperson, Honorable MECs present, Honorable members, invited guests on the gallery. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable MEC, Honorable members, the budget allocated to the Department of Transport for the 23-24 financial year, which is 12.9 billion, is welcome, as during the 2022-23 financial year, the department was allocated 12.474 billion. As the IFP, we would like to caution the Honorable MEC that this budget is not for campaigning for the 2024 general elections, but it is for the provision of services to the people of our province. Further, this is not the budget for incompetent contractors who are awarded tenders to build roads and thereafter abandon them without completing the job as per tender specifications. This budget is not for wasteful, unauthorized, and irregular expenditure either. The IFP will closely monitor the spending patterns of the department when it comes to service delivery. Honorable MEC, this money is taxpayers' money, nor it is the ANC's government's money, but the taxpayers' money. You must spend it prudently with a clear conscience for the intended purpose. Honorable Chairperson, it is mind-boggling that the KZN Transport Department during 2021-2022 financial year had an employee who was on suspension for 520 days. This was revealed in the Public Service Commission PSC quarterly report released last month. We want to know how much has been spent by the department on this employee alone. What measures are in place to ensure that disciplinary processes are expedited? This is a clear indication that the inept attitude and incompetence by those in charge in the KZN Department of Transport cannot be ruled out. This is a shame. The 23-24 budget allocation, the Department of Transport needs to get its house in order. As we speak, this department will surrender 200 million towards the provisional reprioritization exercise. The funds are available for surrender due to current slow spending on various road rehabilitation projects related to the April 2022 floods, for which the department had undertaken internal reprioritization. Many roads are in a shocking bad state, but the department was allocated 780 million to build roads that were flooded during 2019-2020. and again in 2022. Last year, the same department lost 47.691 million, which had to be reallocated to other provinces as the department has failed spectacularly to spend its grant money. This is an insult to the people of our province, as there are many people who are still crossing rivers due to lack of bridges or having no roads at all. And many roads are in a bad state. If the department fails to spend its budget, the MEC and the HOD must be held accountable, because it will prove that they have failed dismally in their allotted duties. Further, we are concerned about the failure by the department to address the elephant in the room, which is unauthorized expenditures, as in the financial years 2020-2021. The unauthorized expenditure was 1.530 million, and 2021-2022 was 1.646 million. We are concerned about the 266.430 million for the 2023-2024 financial year towards scholar transport, compared to the 459.143 million for the 2022-23 financial year. We have noted that there are 402 schools that will benefit from scholar transport during the 2023-24 financial year, compared to 397 during the 2022-23 financial year. But this is not enough, as there are many schools that are still without scholar transport, and those with scholar transport are faced with overloading. The issue of overloading must be addressed before the innocent lives are lost. We implore the Department of Transport to address the elephant in the room, the unending challenges with regards to the suspension of the Vuku Zaka Emerging Contractor Development Program. Contractors experiencing financial difficulties, 2 contracts being declared irregular by the AG, meaning that the department could not use these contracts to implement projects, challenges with access to quarries due to stoppage of work by local Amakosi, etc. We seek answers as to how the department intends to address these challenges. Honorable MEC, this budget is not for incompetent contractors who are awarded tenders to build roads but fail to deliver on time. Incompetent contractors must be blacklisted, and officials who are in cahoots with those contractors must face the full wrath of the law. Further, this budget is not for irregular expenditure. It is shocking that the KZN Department of Transport will spend 25 million on a service provider, Open Water Advanced Risk Solutions, to investigate 17 billion irregular expenditure that occurred over a 7-year period. The department cites the shortage of staff as a contributing factor to their dismal performance. This makes no sense. This amount of irregular expenditure has been increasing over the years, indicating a complete disregard of SCM policies and irregular within the Transport Department. Road infrastructure. During the 2021-2022 budget speech, former MEC for Transport, Honorable Peggy Nkonyani, stated that the Department of Transport planned to build an additional 50 kilometers of gravel road and construct 9 vehicle bridges and build 4 pedestrian bridges and maintain 1,800 square meters of current existing infrastructure. This in addition to the already existing 8,602 kilometers of paved provincial road network and 25,000 kilometers of gravel road network throughout the province. Again, in a 2022-23 budget speech, she stated that they plan to build 50 kilometers of gravel road and build 10 vehicle bridges and 2 pedestrian bridges and maintain 1.8 million square meters of the current existing infrastructure. This is in addition to the already existing 8,668 kilometers of the paved provincial road network and 25,404 kilometers of gravel road network throughout the province. This was a copy and paste from previous speeches, and nothing has happened on the ground. The ANC is in trouble. The department has no plan to address road infrastructure challenges, but it spends more time on lip service without any tangible solutions. The Department of Transport is known for starting projects and leaving them incomplete. Nothing has been said about road projects implemented by the Department of Transport in Ibuluzwe local municipality, which has been characterized by challenges and slow progress. This includes the P73, P112, and P113, which has been in construction for some years but not completed. Construction of road P73 in Shlokozi area started in 2010, but only 7.7 kilometers have been constructed instead of 22.7 kilometers. Again, road P112 as Nomokele, which is 14 kilometers, was budgeted for 10.724 million, but now the budget has increased to 202.38 million. The project duration plan was 6 years. Nothing has been said about dilapidated bridges in Amzumbi that were affected by floods in 2008, which are Kokoloshe, Mashlabasani, and Dadabeni. Nothing has been said about bad roads and bridges in Msinga, which are in Kuba Bridge in Ward 13, R33, Main Road Tugala Ferry, Town to Kwakopi, and D1274, road which need to be rehabilitated from gravel road to tar road. Delivering a State of the Province address, Premier Honorable Nomsa Kuba said, "We are targeting through the Department of Transport to set aside 2.5 billion to fix this problem, potholes, through our potholes patching and road rehabilitation program. The province has a 34,200 kilometer declared road network, including both blacktop and gravel roads, and as a direct response to the challenge of potholes and aging infrastructure. Over the next 3 years, government is going to prioritize the maintenance of infrastructure." Thank you, Chair. I'll be back.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. The next speaker is coming from the DA. This is Honorable S. Hussein, and she is allocated 8 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. I dedicate the speech in the House today to the hundreds of people who have lost their lives on our roads in KZN. About 10 days ago, yet another massive accident claimed another 5 lives in a 40-vehicle pileup, a few kilometers away from here. It appears that poor weather conditions and mist were one of the main contributors to the accident, but not a single RTI vehicle was in sight to warn motorists of the dangers that lay ahead. This is another accident that could have been avoided, and we could have saved 5 lives that we lost. Under normal situations, where people enjoy the benefits of a decent and responsive traffic department, they would take proactive measures and increase visibility in high-risk areas, especially when weather patterns change for the worse, because weather patterns are known in advance, but not here in KZN. Here, we send up cleanup teams afterwards, and the MEC flies around in a helicopter afterwards to catch a news headline. I want to recognize the sterling efforts of the Mayor of the Umgeni Municipality, Councillor Chris Papas, who immediately sprung into action, visited the scene of the crash, and assembled a team of municipal officials to assist. He set up an emergency care center for victims of the crash and a relief center where people could be assisted. He provided hot meals for the victims and a place where they could rest for the night, or where family members could have come to assist them. Now, this is how the DA rolls. On the other hand, our own MEC flew in only the following day, closed an entire freeway so that the helicopter he hired could land. That was his contribution to the incident. No consideration whatsoever for the inconvenience that he caused. Now, this is how the ANC rolls. Chair, the issue of the accidents on our provincial roads is a massive problem, and this is now at unprecedented levels. There are thousands of people who are dying on our roads, and over the Easter period this year, there was another 225 people who lost their lives in our province. This is a remarkable increase from the previous year. We do not know the full extent and the seriousness of the situation because the department does not want to reveal the information. They hide the reports because they know it's going to expose the incompetence. Chairperson, driver behavior on our roads is also a huge contributing factor to the number of accidents and fatalities. But it is the duty and obligation of the state to regulate and enforce the laws, to control driver behavior. If these proactive measures that would curb and reduce the high number of fatalities on our roads, this is why we have the Road Traffic Act and we have the Road Traffic Department. But they are not as effective as we would like them to see because they are not being implemented in an effective manner. There are also a massive shortage of traffic officials and proper resources to RTI. And this is one of the main contributors to the large number of accidents. We hardly ever see the RTI officers patrolling our streets, especially in high accident zones. Motorists can also behave as they wish on our roads, drive at excessive speeds, and there is no speed enforcement by RTI. Last year, I raised this concern in the House with the prospect of positive strides to be taken to rectify the issues within the Road Traffic Inspectorate to ensure that critical vacancies are addressed, thereby increasing patrols on our roads, making it safer for our road users, and enforcing reckless drivers to comply with the rules of the road. But once again, little has changed. The Road Traffic Inspectorate are still struggling with critical vacancies. They cannot operate effectively when inspectors are seconded to oversee 2 to 3 stations at a time. RTI officers are not being monitored by supervisors and there are no proper management of staff. Their offices are in a state of disrepair and conditions under which RTI officers have to work are absolutely deplorable. When are we going to start seeing decent buildings and offices that are provided for RTI officers to operate professionally? They have been living out of park homes with pigeon poo and feathers for decades now, and these are terrible conditions to work in. Over the recent festive season, the one time of the year that RTI should be most visible, they didn't. Even to have any speed timing devices available to control speed driving on our roads. All the speed timing devices were sent in for repairs and not a single one was available. Chair, it took the department more than 4 years to finally resolve the issue of uniforms for officers. And this only happened after continuous pressure from the portfolio committee members. But our useless government thinks it's more important to hold imbizos and loot state funds for political programs. It is a toxic work environment and the staff are demotivated. But listen up, RTI, change is coming. Once the DA is in charge, your working conditions will improve, just as we improved the Western Cape when we kicked out the ANC. This is why the Western Cape is the top performer when it comes to reducing road fatalities. KZN is second last on the list. Chairperson, in April last year, our province experienced massive flooding, and as a result, many of our roads and bridges were either washed away or completely damaged as a result of heavy rains. Emergency spending had to be prioritized to begin the process of repairs in order to return the situation to normality. It is now a year later, and there are still roads and bridges that have not been repaired. What kind of useless government is this? Just a week ago, a lady lost her life when the vehicle plunged into a ditch caused by a washaway of a bridge during the floods. If this department acted with speed, this would have been another life saved. It took the department months to assess the damage and many more months to start the repairs, and a year later, for the people of KZN are still waiting for repairs to be finished, while the Department of Transport is still busy with supply chain management to finalize contracts. Take an example of the R603 in our province, a large section of the road on the south coast that has been closed for repairs since November 2021. This is a major route used by industries in our province to transport goods, but the closure of this road is having a huge impact on the business operations. I was contacted recently by the owner of a multi-billion rand company who complained that unless this route is repaired in the near future, it is going to have an impact on business operations, and he would have no other choice but to start retrenching some of the staff. Businesses who rely on tourism along that route are also being negatively affected, and this will also result in more job losses. Notwithstanding the seriousness of the situation, there is still no sense of urgency from this department. With the exception of the ANC, none of us have any hope whatsoever that the provincial government will act with speed in reacting to disasters. When the going gets tough, the ANC organizers, Imbizos. I thank you.
Thank you very much. The next speaker is supposed to be GF Mchali from the EFF. We received her apology, and we are now inviting the next speaker, who is coming from the ANC and is allocated 12 minutes, and this is Honorable MPP Zungu.
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable members of the Executive Council, distinguished guests. Honorable members, we are gathered here just a few days before Freedom Day, which presents us all an opportunity to take stock and meaningful reflection on the gains of our democratic dispensation, and also underscore the milestone that we have reached in our socio-political dispensation of just almost 3 decades of freedom and democracy. Ngiyafisa ke hlalo ukuthi ngisho ukuthi sizothula nje silalele this chicken psychology elokhu ifakwa la engazuthi mangabe sibheke okhethweni sekufanele ingabe bikho service delivery. Angifuni nje ucomment kakhulu ngakho. Kutshengisa ukuthi abanye abantu ingqondo zabo ecabanga kangakanani. And as the ANC we can't stoop that low. Indeed, what still begets most of current socio-economic challenges are those evil systems of colonialism and apartheid that saw the greater majority of Africans in particular, and black in general, being subjected to untold oppression of white minority for over 3 centuries, lest we forget. Honorable members, although over the past 3 years we have faced unprecedented trials and tribulations, this significant month also serves to remind us, as the President correctly captured it in his State of the Nation address on the 9th of February, that we are indeed a nation that rises above adversity. As led by this glorious liberation movement, no matter the odds, our people remain hopeful and alive to our country's endless possibilities. Honorable MEC Hlomuga, we want to agree with you that indeed province is still reeling from the inclement of weather conditions, most notably last year's floods. These floods caused major devastation, as most of our roads, bridges, and other infrastructural projects were severely damaged, and with big strategic roads such as N2, Lapa Mkababa, that was forced to close. We had more than 1,369 projects at an estimated value of 5.6 billion that needed to be repaired. Out of this, the department prioritized 770, which needed urgent flood repairs, and working with all spheres of government, we are certainly pleased that the department has fixed the damaged road infrastructure and got our economy back to functioning again. Honorable members, this department has continued with the implementation of repairs where it reprioritized the budget of 2.9 billion. The department had further received an allocation of about 580 million from the national government, which will also go towards the floods damages. Furthermore, in line with the character of our caring government of putting our people first, we have also prioritized our response to an outcry in many parts of the province where, due to these heavy rains, water floods above the bridge level. In many communities, this has resulted in many people losing their lives, connection being cut off completely in communities, and motorists having to be stuck for hours waiting for water to subside before moving across. This solution-driven department thus continues to have robust engagement with environmentalists and the Department of Environmental Affairs. With team of engineers, the department will finalize the assessment and classify them per district. This will then be followed by the prioritization model. The intention will be to look at a long-term solution where the safety of our people is prioritized above everything else. Honorable Chair, allow me to speak and focus on transport infrastructure. And I must say the department has a massive responsibility with limited resources. However, continues to deliver to the people of KwaZulu-Natal, whether you talk about public transport, on freight and logistics, road campaigns, traffic enforcement, and land transport. Honorable Chair, I'm now going to reflect some of the transport which I've mentioned Equally, the MEC has articulated at length on them. MEC, sifisa ukuncoma umsebenzi enenzayo omuhle. It is indeed in line with what the African National Congress always talk about, which is one message that the people need services and they be served with diligence and respect. Hence, we want to thank this department for its continued commitment once again in ensuring the learner transport program, which is close to my heart as it is still prioritized. Ngike ngaba nje kwezinye indawo ezisemakhaya la ngangacabangi khona abanye abakwazi indawo ethiwa iZulu. La kwangakho ngisho umgwaqo ongaphuphuthi kuba nomgwaqo. Indawo ethiwa iseZulu uhamba ungene ngaphakathi engazuthi ubheke eshowe. Kodwa ugcina ulahleka phakathi nendawo. Kunabantu lapho lezo ndawo ingane ezifunda lezo izikole sezakwazi nazo ukuthi zihlomule. Imiphakathi eyayinganakiwe futhi kuleyo hulumeni obandlululo into ababangana ukuthi iya exista kwa exista lezo ndawo enjalo. Ngingabala ziphi indawo ngoba ngisho ngaya koMombeni uyokugcotsheni uyothola into efanayo engikhuluma ngayo. So sishayela kakhulu ihlombe umsebenzi wenziwe uAfrican National Congress ukunakekela labo ebebethole kanzima ezikhathini eziphambili. The most marginalized rural areas, indeed, Honorable MMC, again, we note the public transport stability matters and areas of concerns we have raised, which we have also discussed in our portfolio committee meeting, speaking to the violence and the association thereof, which really is problematic for us all. We want to appreciate your department in terms of how it has been handling these sensitive matters. Slalo, I love the department's slogan which says, road safety is our collective responsibility. Indeed, each and every life is important. We have lost number of people on roads, the mass truck accidents, abanye ke sebethatha sengazuthi kwakwindlela yokucampaigna kubo engabe bazolana nabantu benze indlela yokusiza. Ngiyafisa nje ukwazi ukuthi yiphi indlela ongafika ngayo lapha. Umuntu ongathothi ukhuluma kanjalo umuntu yena owayehleli kwakhe ongakaze abe abambeke kuleya ngozi. Uma ngabe uMEC kwakufanele ukuthi athathe ichopper ukuze afike lapho yini ayirong lapho wezofika kanjani ngoba ingekho amanye amamenzi ayengenza ngabo. Ngisho ngabe chowa ayisebenzisa kwakufanele ayisebenzise ke. Kwakufanele ayisebenzise ngoba ayayingekho indlela yokuthi ufike khona. Ngoba kwakubaqala ngaye nanomtshali wayehamba yedwa naye yaze beyoqhomoma ebheke ofisini lakhe. Khuluma ke ngesikhathi sakudala isikhathi samanje la izinto seziphucuzeke khona. Honorable Chairperson, I stand with pride as a member of the ANC that our department is very firm in fighting crime and corruption. It is the African National Congress which has been saying crime and corruption should be dealt with head on when it shows its ugly head. It's an African National Congress of Solomon Mahlangu that on its 111 years anniversary in Mangaung this year, clearly reaffirmed the position of fighting crime and corruption. Honorable members, allow me to reflect a bit on the program 5, particularly on Igula, ERT, esithatha ke ngokuthi isiza laba basafufusa abangaba abantu abasha, abantu abanokhubazeka kanjalo nama-military veterans, ama-program amahlela addressa wona ama-imbalances of the past. Sifuna hlalo ukusho ukuthi we fully agree and support the targeted key areas focus of Igula, especially when it speaks to the enforcement of a mandatory 35% subcontracts where feasible to SMMEs owned by designated groups in all contractors from a minimum value of 10 million, which is implemented on both infrastructure and non-infrastructure contracts. Honorable members, I think that when we are called honorable members, we must act in an honorable manner. Respect and remember the oath that we took individually. The oath we took must talk to our conscience. It means we must be individualistic interest and put our interests aside and put the interest of the electorate first. The very same people who had confidence in us through our political parties, babe nokwethemba ngoba bayathina sizithunywa nje into esizele la esikhona. Ngiyafisa ukuthi mangisakhuluma noNembeza ngiphakamise noma ngixwayise abahlonishwa abangaqhamuka kunhlangano ukuthi they must stop ignoring all the good things that we have done as the ANC. If bekukhona indlela ontaba ekhonja, they would be erasing beautiful story of transforming KwaZulu-Natal for the better. Unfortunately, they can't, as facts speak for themselves. Therefore, we call all parties, they must support in ANC in implementing these programs. Hence, it is people-centered plan and focus on accelerating service delivery to the people with the limited resources that we have. I just felt I had to share this honorable chairperson as a member of the African National Congress, who was told to speak the truth is a revolutionary act, again as a Christian under the 12th Apostolic Church in Trinity. Honorable members, it's crucial that I remind this House of the ANC priorities for 2023, which amongst others, we must improve and deliver the basic service delivery and maintenance of infrastructure, which is a backbone of what the MEC has presented to us today. Siyabonga kakhulu, Mhlonishwa uHlomuka sifisa ukuthi sisho ukuthi umsebenzi owenzayo siyawuthakasela futhi njengesithunywa senhlangano kaKhongolose ayididekanga ukuthi kuthuni. We are talking about ANC success stories or rather achievement in this regard. Allow me ukuthi ngiveze ukwenama kwami ngale budget speech ikakhulukazi ungqongqoshe uma ethi there are identified additional projects which will start constructing in 2023 and 4 financial year. Ngiyazi ukuthi nalemgwaqo engihlale ngikhala ngayo engaphelile OD 883 owashiwa uMacingwane uyobusa qhubeka ke uzongena ohlelweni ngoba ufanele uphenda kanjalo nalena engakasafethi uzoyithola the black top. Nginesiqiniseko futhi nginethemba ngoba utshengisa ukusebenza ngokuzimisela uhambe ngesikhulu ngisivinini lesi esizenza ukuthi njengenhlangano sizigqaje kakhulu umsebenzi owenzayo. Honorable Chairperson, the African National Congress fully supports the tabled budget of 12,966,000,000 as tabled by our hardworking MEC for Transport, Community Safety and Liaison. Certainly the department will continue to deliver with renewed vigor on all the practical, tangible and essential commitments in order to effectively grow our provincial economy and accelerate infrastructure delivery to the people of KwaZulu-Natal, and making sure that the presented plan of the department becomes a reality. Uyabonga uKhongolose.
Thank you very much, Honorable Zungu. We are supposed to be having CM Shinga and the Honorable Esther Kurash Bansi. Both of them apologized. We received their apologies. We are now moving on with our order paper. We are now inviting the speaker from the ATM, Honorable Reverend MP Pagati, and he is allocated 3 minutes.
Sihlalo sibonge kakhulu. Kuyasihlupha ukukholwa sihlalo. Asikwazi into mase sivumile siphinde futhi silwe nayo. Sibanjwa nje ukukholwa kuleyo ndawo ngoba sesihlalile ekomidini sayibuka le budget nje bade echaza umfundisi ukuthi sayibuka sazi raise into esingazithandi asikwazi ke siphinde siqale phansi kodwa nginikhumbuze nje okubili nokuthathu engqongqoshe. Oqala ngifuna sikhumbuzana ukuthi lemigaqo ebulala abantu bakithi kangaka sayi inherita eminingi yayo. Sayi inherita ke kubantu abengakholelwa nje ukuthi umuntu omnyama engayishayela nje imoto. Engakholelwa ukuthi umuntu omnyama nje akwazi ukuhamba ngemoto. Sayi inherita lemigaqo manje lezi ingozi ngoba umuntu omnyama uphethe futhi nje base kukhona umuntu omnyama sekunenkinga ukuthi manje kuthiwe umuntu omnyama akabhekelekile cha. Siqaleni phansi ukuthi kwakwenzekene emgaqweni eqaleni kwakhelele nje abantu abathize babezobhebhenyeka ngeimoto bona bodwa thina ukuthi hayi asigibele amahashi nezinye zezinto. Asivumelane ke MEC ukuthi CATM siyayisupporta ibudget yakho futhi siyazeseka izinto okukhulume ngazo. Kodwa ukubalekile kunakho konke asivumelana ukuthi abantu bakithi abamnyama endaweni zasemakhaya basenazi inkinga as long sekhona ingane ehamba esikoleni ihambe imuke nomfula kusafona ngingalalo as long as kusekhona umnotho wasemakhaya ongakaphakami namanje kusho ukuthi akufanele kulala. Siphinde sivumelane ukuthi ke kuyasithinta ukuthi kube khona ikhondla za ama companies angenayo la KwaZulu-Natal singenazo ezethu kuthiwa ikhondla sizakhele zona. Asakheni izikhondla zenkontraki, sakhe abantu bakithi imisebenzi bekhona uqhubekela phambili. We'll always support an initiative that says abantu bakithi abamnyama abaqhubekele phambili nempilo zabo zenziwe ngcono usuku nosuku. Asivumelane ke MEC ukuthi umnyango wakho umnyango ophethe yonke iminyango, ngoba ngaphandle komnyango wakho abantu ngeke bakwazi ukuthola umnotho, ngaphandle komnyango wakho abantu ngeke bakwazi ukuthola impilo, ngaphandle komnyango wakho abantu bakithi ngeke bakwazi ukufinyelela ezikolweni. Siyasupporta ke CATM le ndawo. Siyabonga.
Thank you very much, Honorable Reverend Phakathi. We are now continuing with our list of the speakers. We're inviting a member from the ANC, and this honorable member is allocated 12 minutes. And this is Honorable HGS Mavimbela. Wangagiti le phesheya koThuke.
Ngiyabonga, Honorable Nkosi, the chairperson of the House. Ugcobo kusho ukuthi khona nje ngivamisile ukulandela abefundisi kusho ukuthi ugcobo leyangilandela. Ngifisa ke ukubingelela ubuholi bonke obukhona la ngaphakathi endlini nabo bonke abasilandelayo einkundleni zobuxhakaxhaka. Honorable Chairperson, let me take this opportunity to applaud MEC Hlomuga for delivering a comprehensive service delivery budget under the theme leaving no one behind. 29 years of solid service delivery and still committed to doing more. As we reflect on the past 29 years, we must appreciate the remarkable progress that has been made, particularly in infrastructure development. The roads and bridges that our democratic government has built are a testament to the African National Congress commitment to improving our province's infrastructure. I am certain that many of you gathered here today have at some point experienced the frustration of being stuck in roadworks on the N3 between Pietermaritzburg and Durban. Through the work of the ANC, we can take the prize in the ongoing construction work that is improving the freeways in KwaZulu-Natal. The upgrade of N3 and N2 is progressing well, and once completed, they will make an economic difference in the lives of many who use these roads. These highways plays a vital role in KwaZulu-Natal economy as they serve as a gateway to neighboring countries and economic hubs such as Johannesburg. Honorable members, the challenges brought about by the global climate change are now a harsh reality, as evidenced by the consecutive years of unprecedented floods experienced by our province. These floods have significantly hindered our progress in rolling out large-scale infrastructure projects, with many collapsing before their intended lifespan. As the African National Congress, we welcome the work done so far to repair and upgrade our province's roads network and bridges. Moreover, the assessment of lower level structures will ensure that safety of those who live in these areas is prioritized. Honorable Chairperson, we also recognize the pressure that repairs and upgrades related to floods damage place on the department budget. I would like to express my appreciation to the partnership that the department has formed to fast-track some of these projects. As the African National Congress, we welcome the MOU signed with SANRAL and the Independent Development Trust, which will ensure that the M4 Tongati Bridge and the R102 projects are fast-tracked. All of these projects is in line with the ANC Vision 2030 of improving our road infrastructure to better the lives of our communities and help to build our economy as the province. Honorable Chairperson, as the President Ramaphosa once stated that, and I quote, "We see a country that has embraced the benefits of technology for economic growth, social development, and for more effective governance. We are producers of the knowledge and drivers of technology progress," close quote. In this regard, the African National Congress welcomed the rollout of the digital strategy by the Department of Transport. The launch of the contact center will make it easier for people to engage with the department with just a touch of a button, and the best part is that it will be toll-free. We also welcome the introduction of personal operation devices, also known as police officers' devices, which will assist traffic officers in digitizing the issuing of traffic fines. This will enhance the fines collection system and improve efficiency in the traffic law enforcement. The introduction of a smart way of paying for public transport will revolutionize the way of public transport operators. The introduction of an electronic subsidized bus motoring system will also enhance the efficiency of our public transport on our roads. Honorable Chairperson, one of the challenges facing our country is the rise in unemployment, particularly among the youth. Creating job opportunities for our youth, women, and persons with disabilities is one of the key goals of the African National Congress. The National Development Plan focuses on the developing every sector of our economy and creating employment opportunities to address these issues. As the African National Congress, we welcome the Vugaibambe Routine Initiative, which has created opportunities for 5,600 youth. This road maintenance program provides routine road maintenance of provincial and district roads while creating employment opportunities focusing on safety maintenance for youth in all districts. We would also like to applaud the department for the National Youth Services, which will create 1,650 opportunities across all districts. This program will empower and assist in building skills capacity for youth in our province. The majority of our road infrastructure is reaching its lifespan, which has led to an ongoing challenges of potholes in the province. We welcome the allocation of 2,800,000 billion to prioritize the rehabilitation and realizing of the existing road networks. I think you were going to clap for this one. This will help to revive our roads and simultaneously eliminate potholes in the province, because all of us standing here keep on crying of the potholes. So when the department is coming with a clear plan in terms of how are they going to deal with the potholes, I think we really welcome that. We are also welcoming the rehabilitation of more than 1,386,810 square meters of urgent roads as part of district development model, which was launched in KwaZulu-Natal by our President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa. The Department of Transport will also be joining Operation Vala Zonke and working with SANRAL to assess our roads with potholes and develop a maintenance and pothole plan, which will be done in all municipalities across our province. I would also like to commend our MEC, the deployee of the African National Congress in the Department of Transport, Honorable Shlomuga, for the purchase of the high-tech truck equipped with pothole patching equipment. This investment is crucial in addressing the issue of potholes in our province, and it comes at a critical point where the world is shifting to the fourth industrial revolution. So we are not behind as the leadership of the African National Congress in this province in terms of the technology. As I conclude, I am reminded of the words of the former president, Utata Nelson Mandela, when he said, "What counts," and I quote, "what counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead," close quote. Honorable Chairperson, this budget is the true reflection of the ANC-led government hard at work, which focuses on Vision 2030 to improve the lives of our communities. It also echoes Mrs. Hlomuga's sentiments of ensuring that no one is left behind in advancing service delivery. So ke sebengakhuluma abanye abangaqondi ukuthi sisho ukuthini when we talk about the service delivery, but the African National Congress is hard at work, and the deployees that are there in the department are making sure that we deliver in terms of making better the lives of our people. Ngoba asikwazi ukuhlala sijabule abantu bakithi behambe emgwaqeni engekho esimeni esifanelekile. Uyabona ke ufakazi walokho, le department ingumabizwa sabele. Ngibuze uma uyalapha ya ku P451 umgwaqo osuka kwahlabisa ohlanganisa uhlabisa nehluhluwe nonongoma besinengxaki ye-bridge. U-MEC olalelayo okhethwe ngabantu liyalungiswa lelo bridge. Ngiyakholwa ke ukuthi i-department it's going also to prioritize ukuqedela loya mgwaqo. We understand the terrain yeindawo zakithi ngoba indawo esuka ibudgethelwe u10 million igcina isifuna u20 million because of intaba namatshe. Ngenxa yabantu abantshontsha umhlaba wethu sagcina sesihleli eindaweni engafanele ngabe kuhlala kuza abantu, engabe kuhlala kuza inyamazana. Kodwa uhulumeni wabantu is putting infrastructure everywhere. We must be proud, Honorable MEC, and don't be shy uma abantu bekhuluma ukuthi ena umgwaqo unama potholes. Ngoba today we are talking about potholes, but before 1994 sasingawazi ama potholes thina, sasihamba obhuqwini, sasingakwazi nalabo babenezimoto abambalwa ukuthi ahambe njengemoto iqede iminyaka ibembili. Namhlanje we are crying about potholes because the government of the ANC have delivered in terms of abantu basemakhaya le ekuhlaleni emgwaqeni yobhuqu imigwaqo yetiyela yiyo lesithi nama potholes namhlanje. Ngiyabonga sihlalo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. According to our list, we were supposed to be having Honorable Bishop S.A. Manqele. He tendered his apology, and we are moving on with the next speaker, which is coming from the DA, and this is Honorable S. Hussein, and she has got only 4 minutes, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. The Department of Transport in KZN is a serial poor performer. It is like a child with learning disabilities. And unless there is going to be a meaningful intervention by political leadership of this province, the situation is simply will keep getting worse. The DA has consistently been raising these issues of poor performance for years now, but there has been no political will to address the seriousness of the situation. Yet another year passes and hundreds of millions of rands in irregular expenditure continues, and hundreds of unfilled posts. Part of the problem is that the Transport Department has a revolving door at the MEC's office. Over the last 4 years, we have had 4 different MECs in this department, and there is no clear and consistent political direction for this department. With every new MEC, new plans and promises are implemented, but none of them actually survive the test of time because just before it is implemented, a new sheriff comes into town. The 12 billion rand budget that this department has is not being used adequately to address the real challenges in our province. We also surrendered 200 million rand to Treasury because of unspent funds, which could have been used to even build decent facilities for our TI officers. Chairperson, in the last financial year, this department employed 6,000 young people at the cost of 250 million rand to maintain our roads, verges, drainage systems. But wherever you travel in our province, the provincial roads are in a terrible condition, and there are no proper maintenance that's being conducted. So where is this money going? When we request for information about this program from the department, they refuse to give any details. Our suspicions are that the ANC is using the state funds for political purposes. Chairperson, we are giving notice today that the DA will be writing to the Auditor General to probe this project. We want to know where the money is going, who is it benefiting, do the 6,000 people actually exist, and is the public actually getting value for money? Chairperson, as we sit here today, there are still thousands of children who walk long distances to school every day in rural communities because there is not enough money for learner transport. These are the children, MEC, that you are leaving behind. This year, the department has been allocated 4.5 million rand to provide transport. In this financial year, there's only an increase of 5 additional schools from last year. We've got 6,000 schools in the province. Surely by now, the department would have come up with a better alternative to reprioritize funds towards the important initiative. But this is not a priority for the ANC. They will only pay lip service to rural communities and hand out food parcels during the election time. In reality, they don't care. And the manner in which this budget is structured is proof of that. We have all become victims of ANC incompetence. But the people of KZN are fast waking up to the reality that this ANC is on its way out. It is really only a matter of time. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. The next Honorable Member is coming from Inkatha Freedom Party. Is Honorable S. Moodley, and is allocated 5 minutes, the holy man.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Chair, I just want to find out the Honorable Premier has spoken about some monies. I just want to find out where is the money going to come from? What has been done by a joint task team comprising the Department of Transport, Treasury, and COCTA to assess the extent of the work that needs to be done in addressing potholes announced by former MEC for Transport, Honorable Peggy Nkonyeni, during 2021-2022 budget speech. Further, Honorable Nkonyeni told us about 615 million, which forms part of the MOU between the Department of Transport and IDT to improve service delivery. But one wonders, where is the 615 million spent, as roads are in a bad state even today? Again, in 2022-23 financial year, 34 million was allocated for the implementation of a pothole patching cooperative model in Msunduzi municipality. What happened to this money, as we are still driving on roads full of potholes? The MEC must account for all these millions that were announced by his predecessor. We welcome the increase in the provincial road maintenance grant. The PRMG sees an increase of 760.1 million over the 2022-23 MTEF, but we are concerned about the failure of the department to spend this grant. In 2019-20, the department underspent of transport infrastructure by 1.64 billion. And again, in the previous year, the department underspent the budget of 265.94 million on transport infrastructure. Due to delays in infrastructure projects, yet we have witnessed many violent protests around the province by communities demanding road infrastructure. When the former KZN MEC of Transport, Peggy Nkonyeni, tabled the department's 12.4 billion budget for the 2023 financial year in the legislature on 5th May 2022, she said, During the State of the Province address, the Premier gave us marching orders and important tasks to be undertaken. Amongst those is to conduct investigations of all the lower level structures to assess their safety. This is in response to an outcry in many parts of the province where people were affected due to heavy rains, water, floods above the bridge level. We want to know what progress has been made in this regard, as we have witnessed an incident in Peace Valley in Pietermaritzburg, where a girl was swept away when trying to cross a low-lying bridge. Vacant post. We welcome the appointment of a new CFO, Mr. Tabani Nkosi. The failure by the department to fill vacant post is a sad state of affairs in the KZN Department of Transport. Vacant posts must be filled without any further delay. We have observed that the department is failing to finalize the organogram and structure of the department to finalize critical posts in the department. RTI. We are concerned about the failure by the department to provide RTI officers with uniform. Further, we reiterate our call for the deployment of traffic police 24/7 on our roads to address road accidents. We must relieve RTI officers from being clerks and messengers, as there are many unemployed people sitting at home who can perform these duties. SIU on New Jersey barriers. The IFP demands the action must be taken against those involved on the 85 million New Jersey barrier wall project, which is being implemented to curb cross-border crime between South Africa and Mozambique, which was awarded to a joint venture, ISF Construction and Shula Construction, in August 2018. We challenge the Honorable MEC to provide clarity on what progress has been made on this matter. Expanded Public Works Program, EPWP and APP. We want to caution the Honorable MEC that poverty alleviation programs such as EPWP, Vukayabamba, routine maintenance, etc., are not only for ANC volunteers. The ANC has a tendency of using EPWP as its tool to garner votes during elections, as 2024 general election is upon us. The IFP will be all ears, and with our eyes wide open, we will monitor the implementation of all alleviation programs. Having voiced our concerns, the IFP supports the budget. I thank you.
Mfundisi. We are now inviting the last speaker to the debate before the MEC responds to the debate. This speaker is coming from the African National Congress, and he is allocated 6 minutes. And this is Honorable Bishop E.V. Dube.
Angibonga kakhulu uhlalo. Honorable Motley ngiyabona ngempela umfundisi ngoba uyayifunda incwadi ekuthiwa incwadi yesililo, Lamentations. Uyabona uyafika la uzolila ngezinto vele esikhulume ngazo ngoba kufanele ukuthi alile. Kodwa ke ayikho inkinga. Uke wabuza umbuzo ukuthi this budget, what is this budget for? Mina nginiqondi opposition ngempela ukuthi kanti abantu banivotelelani. Uma ngabe nifika la sifike issue ibudget kuthiwa izosebenza u1 no2 no3 bese nisukuma nina nithi le budget izokwenzani. Nikhombe nezinto esingazange sizisho thina. Enye izinto okufanele ifunde njenge opposition ukulalela. That is the reason why abantu bakwaZulu Natal bevotela iANC ngoba iANC iyabalalela. I'm very disappointed uma ngizwa Honorable Hussein ekhuluma ngama rural communities. Angidunyazo ukuthi ukhulume ngama rural communities. Ngidunyazo ukuthi ukhuluma ngento angayazi. Angikaze ngiyibone iDA inika isikhathi ukuyosebenza nama rural communities. Ngaphandle mangabe kuthiwa kunento ukuthi sisuke sihambile njengeshamthetho. Into abafike bayenze benze i-drive through bese behlangana neBNB ethize badle wine. Manje ke ngoba kubona nje it's part of tourism in KwaZulu Natal. And I still ask myself, why would be a sane person vote for the DA? Ehlulo understand ukuthi KwaZulu Natal sinemgaqo link more than 26,000 abaqondwa wona lokuthi umsebenzi osibhekile ungakanani with such limited resources. And every time we start to do something, they have a problem. Mhlambe ke kufanele umuntu anibuze ukuthi kahle kahle nifundile noma niyafunda na. And okunye okubalekile ukuthi when the budget is given to you, you must not stick to the notes that were written for you. You must make sure ukuthi ubheke budget and begin to interrogate the budget as it was given to you. Ngiyabona ukuthi lento ekuthiwa ukudebate anikaze nivele kweneqala le parliament kodwa ke sonifundisa thina ngoba sila sikhona namhlanje ngoba umphakathi uyazi ukuthi siyasebenza. Iyangixaka ke le yokuthi njalo nizositshela ngo purpose. Angifundi ukuthi ngiyikhulume leyo ngoba kwasho ukuthi mangabe kwenzeka izinto kwi-area la ekhona kufanele uhlale entabeni athi uzolinda iANC. Kanti usebenza lo muphi uhulumeni ngoba uhola la phansi kohulumeni weANC njani igqaja kangaka usebenzela thina lokho akwenzayo sisazontshela ukuthi uthunywe yithina ukuthi akwenza akasebenzeli eyodwa futhi labantu abasizayo abantu abavotela neANC njoba nizosibona nje ngo2024. But I do want also ukubonga kakhulu babuhlomuka ngokusebenzisana nomnyango wezenkolo. You know, I do believe ukuthi ukube imthandazo ayenziwa ngabe okwenzeka emgaqweni wethu kuWest. Ingakho ngibabonga befundisi ikakhulukazi ababamba iqhaza ekutheni bakhuleke ukuze iprovince yethu ibone ukuphepha noma ingozi zenzeka kungabi lesimo. Uyabona ku Peter Brown ngendlela izimoto ezaziningi ngayo okwenzeka ingozi ngangilindela impela ukuthi baningi abantu abazolimala khona kodwa ngiyambonga uNkulunkulu ukuthi ngenxa yemthandazo eyenziwa kule ndawo kwaba khona umehluko owenzeka. Ezinye zezinto ke engazihambeli lezo uma ngabe senza i-interfaith meeting eqondene no transport angikaze ngiyibone iDA inikeza isikhathi sokuthi izoba nathi. Angikhathali ukuthi mhlambe ngoba anikholwa njengathi kodwa ke kufanele ukuthi ngesinye isikhathi nibalule ukuthi abantu kunezinto ezithize abakholelwa kuzo engenza ukuthi imigaqo yethu kwaZulu Natal ibe safe. Kodwa futhi umuntu akadlule nje kule yokuthi Honorable Hussein, you have repeatedly said this thing. I wish people of KwaZulu Natal could hear you when you are saying izimbizo are useless. It's because you lack understanding of how we interact with our people. That is why when we are about to vote, you send us rubbish SMSs and then rubbish SMSs and you put your poster, your whatever in our post box, on our post boxes. I wish you could see what I do to that paper every time you put it in my post box. I call my neighbors and we are still going to do that. Continue to steal in numbers to nisfonele. We are going to take you seriously. Ukuthi you are thieves ezitshontsha izinamba zethu bese nilona isifonela nisibuze ngale mbudane yene nibiza ngeDA aniyazi ukuthi lento iqala phi ayipheli indawo ayinambono but you have audacity ukuthi abantu abanivotele. If a person ophila emqondweni ohlala kwaZulu Natal would vote DA in 2024, what would that person be voting for? You know, one of the last things that we have done is to chase everybody of our color in the organization. Nasala nje Nkosi yami nalanda uGumbe Cape Town no Gumbe isebenzela la esebenza khona nasala nentokazi uMabatho indawo yakhe kulindele ngala when time is right ukuthi uze ngala uzohlala kweANC because I want to tell you DA is dying. It's not dying slowly. It's dying very quick. So that is why you have nothing engayisho about the safety of the people. You do not care about the people. Niphathele ipapalasi. Le budget siyayiphasisa njenge-ANC.
Time is up, the holy man. Honorable members and guests, Honorable Dube was the last to debate. We now invite the Honorable MEC, Honorable Hlomuga, to respond to the debate.
Azongenwe ipapalazi. No, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Let me start by, Chair, appreciating the input from those who contributed in enriching our budget policy speech. because we really want to appreciate that those who wanted to make more input. Usenzele ukuthi abantu bakithi kwaZulu Natal bakwazi ukuthi bathole intuthuko. Ngizobabonga nje bonke ke noma ke singeke sibasho one by one. Kodwa ngicela ukuthi kunento oqala that I want to clarify. Maybe there was a mispresentation in the portfolio. The 250 million that is called was surrendered to Treasurer is not true. The Provincial Executive Council took a decision, actually requested departments to say we have education and health and social development that have challenges in terms of budget. Can department assist those department? We then said, because we are one government, we have a responsibility if there are challenges, education, udothi ingane zinenkinga or othisha fanele baqashwe, fanele sikwazi ukuthi we contribute as a provincial government. This is why I'm saying maybe there was a misunderstanding. There is even a decision or minutes and decision in the Provincial Executive Council. We then raised our hand. We said, no, we are going to assist those departments. Equally so, the same Provincial Executive Council took a decision to say, as part of dealing with the crime in KwaZulu Natal, the Provincial Executive Council took a decision to say each and every department must at least contribute 10 million to support Department of Community Safety and Liaising in ensuring that the Department of Community Safety and Liaising will able to buy more cars for police and put CCTV cameras and also assist the CPF and other community structures. So I wanted to clarify that so that honorable members will understand that there was no surrender of any money from the Ministry of Transport, but we assisted our sister department because we have a responsibility to make sure that we work together as one government, because this government is led by one organization called the African National Congress. So we must by any time assist each other when times or when needs arise. Then we are going to provide a quarterly report on the pothole issues, because we agree ukuthi yes, the issue of potholes is a serious challenge. And even in our report, because as we presented our budget policy speech, we started by accounting what have we done with the budget that were given the previous financial year. Because it's important that to account to our people of KwaZulu Natal to say the money that was given to us, these are the things that we have done, these are the achievements that we have done, these are the challenges, and how are we going to deal with those challenges. And we are also appealing to say, working together to make sure that we fast-track service delivery to our people. Those who don't see any positive things, for sure, amahlabo avalekile. We can sibavule what is singabacela nje singabathandazela ukuthi ngoba ukuthi bathandazele bavuleke amehlo bezokwazi ukuthi ebabona. But the people of KwaZulu Natal bayabona, even in the areas enhlala kuzona esilungwini siyasiza nakhona, we fix those roads abakhona. Mawusuhlala nokubona ke la uhlala ngakhona kusho ukuthi inkinga ikuwena akuyikho kwabanye abantu. It's not true. I don't understand an honorable member, Mr. Chair, come here and lie. I never used any helicopter. I never used a chopper during the accident. It's lies. It's blue lies. They mean, no, wait, let me tell you, because maybe we are used to lie. The minister, the day before the accident, she was working with me at Moy River. She then drove to Gauteng. Then when the accident happened, he then took a job because he was supposed to go back to Gauteng. is a minister who came with a helicopter from Gauteng to here in N3. So it's very important when you speak, you must do your research because you are misleading the people of this country. So don't lie. Anyway, understand, Vele EDA is used on propaganda. You must go and do your research because next time we'll give you a question and a paper to write and you will fail dismally because you don't do research. I think we are with the budget that we have presented. If it's approved by the legislature, was going all over the province. If you call it as a campaign, I'm sorry, kuzobe kuwena. Kodwa siwambela wonke umphakathi wakithi siyothula imisebenzi esiyenzayo sithula imigwaqo futhi sibachazela abantu ukuthi le delivery yenziwa uhulumeni kaKhongolose. Ngoba uma singabatshela abantu ngoba kulula ukuthi nisho ukuthi umnyango kaKhongolose awenzi lutho. Kodwa uma wenza into enhle anisho ukuthi wenza into enhle. Ingakho sishilo la ukuthi kwi budget speech abanye benu almost all of you benefited from this ANC government, especially Department of Transport, because kunemigwaqo ekhandiwe endlula ngakwakho ekhanda wona lo humena kaKhongolose. Kodwa besuthi awuyiboni intuthuko kodwa uhamba kuyona intuthuko. Futhi ngabe uhamba kumgwaqweni owenziwa uhulumeni usho ukuthi yazi yamnandi intuthuko kaKhongolose bese kuyasho ukuthi ke why ungayithani. Kodwa hayi ukuthi sithi akukho esikubonayo ngoba nalawo oqhamuka khona uzofike la ufike ngawo umgwaqo okhanda ohulumeni kaKhongolose. It is not correct to say i-accident le eyenzeka la eHilton N3. Firstly, kwakona is wrong ukuthi sidlale because there are people who lost their lives there. And afanele sikhulume as if we don't care about that. May their soul rest in peace because as a caring government, we have a responsibility to protect the families and make sure that we send condolences to those families. DA, I understand because akekho umuntu omhlophe oshonile lapha ya. Kushona abantu bakithi abamnyama ezulana nabo yingakho njengoba uPapasa omeya waseMngeni waya khona ingoba uMEC wakaKhokja she called yena ukuthi ayewayelele futhi ngemali enikezwa ngokwebudget le ka disaster enikezwa uKhokja inikeza omasipala wasebenzisa yona ukuthi ahamba ayosiza abantu lapha yingakho no mayor we district waseMgungundlovu uNcamalala uyena wayegijima lapha esiza abantu bakithi even ibhedlela abafakwa kuzona CEO no nurse uMEC uyena wayesiza uMEC usimelana ukuthi abantu bakithi abakwazi basize bangabamba ulayini ngoba kade besengozini serious. So you must not come here and lie about that small boy wasemngeni. Look, the unauthorized expenditure. This is why, unless we are talking about the other previous financial year, for this past financial year, current financial year, there was no unauthorized expenditure in the Department of Transport. It's just an incurring for those projects that were declared at that time as irregular. So, but for this financial year, there is no authorized. We've developed the systems to make sure that at least we comply with the policies that we have. That's why we are hoping that we might not get a clean audit, but we're able to deal with all issues that have been raised by Auditor General, because we have a responsibility to account for the budget or the monies that have been allocated to us. So these men and women led by the HOD and the CFO, they are doing their level best to try that they fast-track service delivery. Ours to make sure that we support them and make sure ukuthi benza umsebenzi. Bese ukuthi laba abangawenza umsebenzi asinayo enye choice ukuthi babhekana nomthetho bahambe bokuhlala ekhaya abangafuni ukusebenza ngoba lapha umuntu ongafuni ukusebenza kufanele akwazi ukubona ukuthi akafanele abe khona. The issue of a vacant post, I think in the, I understand, khona bafike bezo debate, kodwa azange bayifunde i-budget speech. The budget speech indicates the number of funded vacant posts and the process and how many have been filled and how many were in the process of filling them. We even spoke about the RTI, how many posts that have already filled from Chanel, how many were anticipating to fill, and another additional 100 that were requesting provincial government to consider as to what is swafin. So siyakuba siyaphambili. Honorable Mutlu, law 6 not Mutlu, I'm sorry, Hossein. 6,000 wabantu abasha, those are young people who were recruited. That's why go and read 10.1, then you will understand that program. We've employed 6,000. Those 6,000 young people, they are distributed or allocated across the province. Unless you are saying when actually they are under PESAL, they are paid through PESAL, they are not paid like Obona, IFP, Mekashe, also Omekashe, ama artists babanikeza imali ngocash. Washo ngizwe phela sezwa ngongizwe ukuthi namqasha namnikeza cash. Akushongo uthini. Ungizwe wathi namqasha kodwa mafaya akaholi ngelokho. Uhola ngelokho. So these young people bakhokhelwa through PESAL. We welcome audit. We have all processes. There are documents in our office. We will give everything because we know that as an ANC government, we want clean, we don't want fraud, any corruption. So we are welcome ukuthi uzokwenza njalo. For sure you know ukuthi DA nalamadoda awu 5 ayenza corruption lapha sexoshiwe lapha eDA kwi-city of Cape Town. And iDA ayazi fanele iyenzeni even in the provincial government. So ungatshela abantu into engayilona iqiniso. iDA ayisoze yaphatha la. Abona ngezwe nje ukuthi ufuna ukuba uMEC. Manje niyabanga ne-IFP naye niyaphupha nje into engeke nizinithole leyo. Abantu bakaZulu Natal angeke bayivume lonto. Bakhathela abantu baZulu bayaphathwa abantu be-apartheid abafuna ukubuyela kwi-apartheid. Yingakho nabanye umasipala bathe bangabona ukuthi onto abayikhonja bahlangene nabantu abamhlophe e-apartheid baba-rejecta manje bathi abasabafuni. So-ke ungalinge ucabanga ukuthi ikhona into ezokwenzeka. I think kule mali Mr. Honorable Mutlu ka 600 million, yes indeed there was money that was transferred to IDT, as I already indicated in the budget speech, to say there are government agencies that will transfer money, which is Central and IDT. As I spoke about P90 from Inkandla and P50 from Inkandla, is IDT who's assisting us already. Consultants have been appointed. They are busy with design. That means there is that 600,000 IDT uyawusebenzisa and we are getting report on the monthly basis. Equally so no Sandra kanjalo we are getting report. So there is a report mafanele sinikeze. Some of them SIU ama-Jersey Bearer lawa asemkhanyakude, we have not yet received a report. As soon as the department receive the report, remember that project is a joint program. It's a project that is done by provincial government through Agent of Transport and National Public Works. It's National Public Works who said, let's put investigation, and we welcome that, and we are waiting for that SIU report. But we said we are not going to wait for that report because our people at Mkhanyakude, they are robbed on every day. That's why we said we want to continue with that project. I think it's correct that schools in KwaZulu Natal, Honorable Hossein, there might be 6,000. There might be 6,000, but it's not all of them that qualify to get scholar transport. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You must always do your research. Don't just come here without your research. You mislead the people of KwaZulu-Natal. The 405 that we've allocated, those are the critical prioritized schools that really need scholar transport. We are still assessing through Department of Education other schools that will also allocate budget so that will also get scholar transport. Our people, they know about that. Okwakho ngoba wena ubazi abantu ingakho uthi awufuni imbizo. Vele awubafuna awukazi uhlangane nabantu. Into okwenzayo nje ukuthi nithatha ama-phone numbers ethu nisendele ama-message engazathi khona ukuthi sihlangane nani kanti asihlangane ne-dating. Singabantu bombutho kwaKhongolose esiwona ophethe abantu bakithi. Sawubonga kakhulu Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Shlomuga, the MEC for Transport and Community Safety and Liaison in KZN. We also want to thank all those colleagues of ours who debated. It was a bit smooth debate. Yeah. No, don't intimidate the MEC. He will come back because he has got 4 remaining minutes. He will come back because he has got 4 remaining minutes. Colleagues, we want to thank all of you, including our well-behaved guests in the gallery. Sinibonga kakhulu ngokuyiphatha kwenu ukuthi nizolalela le nkulumo mpikiswano. Honorable members, we want to declare that we have come to the end of this debate on vote number 12. And I am told that the next vote in the very same house will be vote number 8. So that one will be spearheaded by Honorable Zungu. Honorable Zungu, I don't want to leave this chair. Otherwise, other people who are not chosen by the speaker to chair might take it. Can you come to this place so that you will be ready? I know ngisaba wena mshana wami ngazi uzofukela uzopreside la. Saba wena. But I was told that that debate will start at 15:45. That's what I was told. But I don't want to get into that one. But I want to see this chair protected. Otherwise, umshana wami umsimango will come and then take it over. I not you, Mfundisi.